सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay. From 16 onwards, Yat Param Brahma Sarvatma. Yat Param Brahma Sarvatma
यत् परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा
Vishwasyayatanam Mahat
विश्वस्यायतनं महत्
Sukshmat Sukshmataram Nityam
सूक्ष्मात् सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यं
Tattvameva Tvameva Tat
तत्त्वमेव त्वमेव तत्
Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्ति आदि
प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते
प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते
तद्ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा
तत् ब्रह्मा अहमिति ज्ञात्वा
सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते।
सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते।
त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोग्यम्
त्रिषु धामसु योद्भोग्यम्
भोक्ता भोगश्च यद्भवेत्
भोक्ता भोगश्च यत् भवेत्
तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी
तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी
चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः।
चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः।
मय्येव सकलं जातं
मय्येव सकलं जातं
मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम्।
मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम्
मयि सर्वं लयं याति
मयि सर्वं लयं याति
तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्।
तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्यहम्।
अणोरणीयानहमेव तद्वत्
अणोरणीयान् Anoraniyane.
Ano
Anorani. Yeah.
Anoraniyan
Anoraniyan.
Ahameva Tadvat
Ahameva tattvat.
Mahanaham
Mahanaham.
Vishwamaham Vichitram
Vishwamaham vichitram.
Puratanoham
Puratanoham.
Purushohamishaha
Purushogamishah.
Hiranmayoham
Hiranmayogam.
Shivarupamasmi.
Shivarupamasmi.
Once again, Anoraniyanahmeva Tadvat
Anoraniyan ahameva tattvat.
Mahanaham Vishwamaham Vichitram
Mahanaham vishwamaham vichitram.
Puratanoham Purushohamishaha
Puratanogam purushogamishaha.
Hiranmayoham Shivarupamasmi.
Hiranmayogam शिवरूपमस्मि.
Yeah.
धन्यवाद.
So last mantra. Did I give the translation of Mayeva Sakalam Jatam? Yeah. So you can see important mantra there, which connected to so many other mantras also. So Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Everything was born out of me, and I am sustaining everything. So now a question can come. When I sustain everything, like suppose somebody says, I am supporting my family. I am supporting my family. And not some nuclear family, one, two people. No, not like that. Supporting my family means all my sisters are there, my brothers are there, children are there, family, parents are there, two sets of parents are there. So big joint family. Today also there are people living in joint families. I see many people like that. And so I am supporting a big family, very big family. And so it must be a, I must be a Maha, that person must be a Maha Samsari, correct? Or at least Samsari, definite Samsari, no doubt. On top of that, this thing, the Shastram is saying, I am not that just the Atma of myself, this body. I am the Atma of everybody also. And Krishna also says, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Like that, he uses those words. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Means this self, Bhutatma, which is Sarva Bhutatma, which is not just the Atma of this body, but it is the Atma of everybody. Okay, humans, non-humans, everybody included, including non-living beings also. So that means what? If I am the self of this body, I'm a samsari. If I am the self of the entire universe, then I must be a Maha Samsari, correct? Maha Samsari. Vishwatma Swami Viditatmanandaji says Maha Samsari. And Maha Samsari means what? Now everybody's problems are my problems, because that's why I say I'm taking care of my family and all. Means what? Everybody's problem is my problem. I don't nothing goes out of my purview. I'm responsible for the family. So I'm now responsible for the world. And so I am a Mahasamsari. All the things that happen everywhere affect me also, must affect me also. Like that, the question can come. Okay. So is that true? Like that, if the question is asked, all this misery that is surrounding everybody should affect me. The joy also should affect me. The misery also should affect me. Okay. And so both ways, up and down, it's going to go. That's the idea. This Atma, poor Atma. Shastram thinks it is doing us a favor. Now I am saying, no, you're not doing me a favor. You're making the problem worse by saying that I am the Atma of the entire universe. Okay. So then the answer is like what our Kathopanishad also said it. You can make a note if you want. The next mantra, this Anoraniyan. Kathopanishad says 2.2.11. 2 to 11. Okay. Suryaha yatha lokasya chakshuhu. Like that, one example was given by Yama. Yatha, just as Suryaha, the sun, Askaraha, Adityaha, lokasya chakshuhu is the eye of the world. The world as we know it is the eye of the world. Eye of the world means what? Hey, because of Surya, we are able to do things. We are able to see things. Things happen. Surya makes everything happen on this earth. Okay, so he's called the eye of the world. He makes, because of him, I can see. Because of him, things move. Because of him, life happens. Okay, plants grow because of Surya. And even our life cycles depend on Surya. So he is the sustainer of the life on earth. Okay. Yatha lokasya chakshuhu. He is the sustainer of life on this world. Okay. But then what? Na lipyate chakshushaihi bahyadoshaihi. Okay. Na lipyate. Na lipyate means is not affected. Lip, to get affected. So na lipyate bahyaihi bahyadoshaihi chakshushaihi. So he's saying, Yama is saying, but that sunlight, it is illumining everything equally, everything in this world. All progress it is illumining. All all disasters also it is illumining. All trees and plants and everything it's illumining. People it is illumining. It is also illumining all the dirty water and gutter and all the pollution, everything it illumines. It illumines everything. Birth also it illumines. Death also it illumines. Illumines everything. But bahya doshaihi, chakshushaihi means all the things that are happening. Doshas. Doshas means things that are not useful to anybody. Nobody wants it. That's called a dosha. Bahya doshaihi na lipyate. That light is unaffected. Neither the light is unaffected by the things that it falls on. It illuminates everything equally. It is not affected by the gutter water and all the dirty water that is out there. It's not affected. Neither is the sun affected by that. Okay, that example he gives here. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma न लिप्यते लोक दुखेन बाह्यः. Ekaha, being one all sustaining one, sarvabhutantaratma. This atma, which is tatha, so also this atma being the essence of the entire universe, ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate, he says, not affected. Atma is not affected. By what? Loka dukkhena. Loka dukkhena. Loka dukkham is there. We don't appreciate sukham so much until dukkham comes. Did you ever notice that? And the days go just fine. All up and down, jumping up and down until something is not working. My iPhone is blanking out. It's turning off by itself. Ah, what about how many years have you been using it? 5, 6, 7 years I've been using it. Okay, the time has come. Then whole life comes to a standstill. And so this is our lot. This is our lot. And so, but fortunately, here Shastram is giving us a way out. No, the Atma is not affected. You better. But then, how do I benefit from the teaching of the this very good teaching that is there? Well, you got to work on it. It's not going to be straightforward. So, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. Not long ago, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said in the second chapter. That's why he said, hey, you better get used to this. If you want to benefit from the Shastram, you got to work on it. Karma Yoga Buddhi, you have to practice. If at all you can use the word practice, that's where you have to practice. Up and down things happen, and when the iPhone stops working, blinking like this, okay, you're shocked, all right. But then learn to smile also. Learn to smile at what? Not at the iPhone, at yourself. Smile at yourself. iPhone is iPhone. This is how things are. Things are moving according to the order. Order is very much there. My God, everything is orderly. This disorder is also part of that order. And okay, after all that sorrow is over, then you smile at yourself and say, okay, this is how it is. I have to learn to deal with it. Deal with it. So now you are not the only one dealing with it. I am not the only one. Everybody is dealing with it. This I am the only one. This is another problem. Sometimes the sorrow comes from this. I am the only one suffering. Why God? Why are you victimizing me? But everybody else also is victimized the same way. What to do? So we have to grow out of all that. Slowly bring that prasada buddhi. Because this affected, being affected by things is the norm. It is the norm. That is why the Shastram sometimes it seems very theoretical. Some people say this is all theory. Theory, correct? It's all theory because it's not practical at all. How I can't be affected? Tell me. Something happens suddenly in the middle of the night. How can you not be affected? You will be affected. Yeah, please be affected. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Yes, that mind will respond. It's meant to respond, in fact. Mind is meant to respond. Don't stun your mind. Don't make your mind into a stone. You're supposed to respond. That's what it is meant for. So, whether it is sadness or joy, respond. But understand that I am beyond. I am somebody that is beyond joy and sorrow. I am the source of joy in this universe. There is no other source of joy. No other means no other. Underline that statement. No other object is capable of giving joy. It is triggering the joy that is there in me. Just triggers it. And then I say I'm happy. This is the truth. This is the truth. Otherwise, by now people would have been enlightened and world would be a happy place. They could have figured out how to extract, just like they extract all these ores, copper and zinc and gold and all that from all these ores. We will figure out how to extract happiness, correct? From all the things that are there. Extract and even battery, happiness battery will be there. Store some happiness so that when I'm sad, I can connect myself to that battery and then I can feel happy. Until I say, okay, this is enough. This is all something. All this wire you take out. I'm happy now. This charge, I'm now charged. Like the phone is charged, I'm charged. I'll be happy for the next 5 days. I'll be happy. Then afterwards, recharge yourself. We would have figured it out. Our people would have figured it out. I got this is guaranteed. So that is not why that is not happening. Nobody's talking about it. That is because it's not possible. Happiness is not an object. Happiness cannot be extracted from an object also. Therefore, here, loka dukkhena bhakyaha na lipyate, Yama says in 2.2.11. Loka dukkhena, by the sorrow and misery and difficulties that are there in the world, Atma is not affected. And I also know, intuitively also I know, it is not some theory. I know. So the fact that I am affected by something, but I can move on beyond. The next day, after 1 week, I am okay. How I can be okay if something is affecting me? The effect is not permanent. That means the effect is as though it has just affected me, and some people are able to come out of it faster. Other people, they have hangover. That means what? That means fundamentally there is something in me that says, I can move on. I am affected, but there is also an aspect which does not affect me also. It is there. It is there in all of us. Otherwise, we can't survive so many decades. Not possible. We would have collapsed of sorrow long, long ago. Who does not have had sorrow in their lives? We would have collapsed. No, we don't collapse. So, this is not managing sorrow, but it's beyond sorrow also. And so, this being affected is there all the time. And if we are superstitious in India, I don't know, superstition must be there everywhere, I think. They will say things like, those days I remember, I heard these things from my grandmother and all. And if you see a widow coming in front of you, then that's not a good sign. Baba, if you hear all these things, it's all very sad, I'm telling you. Widow. Poor thing. What did she do? She already is suffering, okay? And you make her suffer even more by saying all these things. Then you have to turn this way and you have to do something. And prayashchittam you have to do. Some karma. You have to come home, drink some water or something. Or if you're going, and if there is in India, you have all this the when somebody dies, and many communities they will take the body and with music and all they will march on the road until they go to the cremation ground. And so they will say something like, "Oh, this is apashakunam," and then you thought it is apashakunam, and some people say, "Oh, this is vandu nalla shakunam. This is a good shakunam." They will say. They will convert that bad omen to good omen. That also they do. I watched that. So if you convert it into good omen, that means that's great thing. Or you're just going to the airport. Just you take suitcase you're taking, and then you're going to the airport, and then suddenly you tripped. You tripped a little at the door. Then what they will say? In India, they will say, they will guaranteed, they will say, wait a minute, just come back. Just sit down for a while. Drink some water. Drink some water and go. Yeah, cat crossing. A black cat, I don't know. I'm thinking cat only. My grandmother taught me that also. Anyway, we'll come to that. So we come home, sit down, just sit down on the couch, drink some water. This drink some water is a trick. Is a trick to make you spend some time, just quiet time. This because something has happened. This says don't go now. No, just 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Just spend time here. I know you have to catch a flight, but yeah, spend an extra minute. They do all these things. Or somebody sneezed. This sneeze is a big problem. Sneeze will not ask your permission also. At least you say, okay, in the next 1 minute you are going to sneeze. If somebody says, at least I can plan for it. And no, just come sneeze. Yo, dear guys, they will say all these things. And then they will make you sit down for a while. So we are affected. We are affected by so many things. And on top of that, all the stars also. If you are a bit into astrology, that's it, finished. Your life will come to a standstill. All the Shani is waiting. Everybody is waiting to do something or the other. So this is true. We are affected by everything. We could write an I wanted to see if there is an encyclopedia of inauspicious things. We people Hindus can write all these things. And you ask some traditional people to orthodox person to write, they will tell you big list. Big list they will tell you. But there is some beauty in that. If you sneeze, if you trip, and then that is Ishvara Srishti. It is a Ishvara Karyam it is. You recognize Bhagavan there. You recognize Bhagavan. And so you say, okay, wait, there is a sign. There is a sign that let's pay attention to that. Just relax for a while. There's some beauty in that idea. Sneezing, okay, there's some beauty. Sneezing is Ishvara. Ishvara Karyam. You don't plan to sneeze. Unless you're in the restroom and you're doing something and you're constantly sneezing, that is different. But this kind of thing is just comes without asking. So Ishvara Karyam is there. There is no free will involved in that. When free will is not involved in something, it is Ishvara Karyam only. No doubt about that. Child says something. That's why when a child smiles, small baby, toddler smiles or does something, then you know, my God, no free will is there for this baby. And how the baby doesn't have any agenda for anything. So, so then all that is Ishvara Karyam. That's why we enjoy the children so much because they're all innocent. They're innocent. So anyway, so the idea here is what this doubt is there. I am affected by so many things. Now, if I am the essence of the entire universe, then I am finished. Like that, if the doubt comes, like Yamadharmaraja said, this next mantra, Anoraniyan Ahameva Tadvat Mahanaham Vishwamaham Vichitram. And then some of you are going to say, my God, Anoraniyan, this is a very familiar sloka. So it is there, yeah. What is that Kathoparishad mantra it is?
Moraniyan Mahato Mahiyan.
Mahato Mahiyan. 1 to 20, I think.
1 to 20, yes.
1 to 20. Okay. So that's the Kathoparishad mantra once again. And before we go there, let's see what Maniprabha says. He introduces this mantra by saying, Brahmanaha Jagat Janma Sthiti Dhamsa Karanatvat. He's saying, you've been studying about Brahman, right? Or Atman. So this Brahman being the Jagat Janma Karanam, it is the cause of the birth of this world. Then Sthiti Karanam, for sustenance, maintenance of this world also. Dhamsa Karanam, Dhamsam. You know, our parents used to say, Dhamsam Pandrani. The குழந்தையெல்லாம் துவம்சம் பண்றது. Dhamsam means this people are running around, jumping on the bed and cot and sofa, everything gone, finished. Dhamsam. And so, Dhamsa Karanatvat, because Brahman is the cause of the birth, sustenance, and resolution of this world, Jagat. Then what? Jagat Karanatvena Vikaritvam Praptam. Being a cause of something automatically implies that that cause is going to change. Without the cause changing, there can't be an effect. Change, cause, effect, creation means change only. Cause also changes, effect also is a change, obviously. It is a product, something new is being created. And so, this kind of karanam is there. Okay? Karanatva. Cause, maintenance also change. Resolution, of course, is change. Death is change. And therefore, Brahmanaha Karanatvam Praptam, he says. Brahman is now impacted. Seriously impacted. Okay. Tadetad Durbodha Swarupena Varayati. He says, no, that Upanishad is going to negate that, make that impossible by in the following way. Durbodha Swarupena. Durbodha means difficult to understand. One meaning is difficult to understand. In that way, it is telling, it seems. What is difficult to understand? Let's see. Anoraniyan ahameva tadvat. Okay. Smaller than the smallest. Anuhu. Anuhu means atom. Anu. Anything minute is called anu. Anu matram. So, anoho aniyan. Aniyan means smaller than what? Anoho. Smaller than the small. Let's say smaller than the small. Okay, smaller than the small or smaller than the smallest. Either way is okay. Both same meaning. Anoraniyan. Mahato Mahiyan. Here is a different one. Here he is saying Ahameva. Okay, Anoraniyan Ahameva. Ahameva. I am smaller than the small. Okay, I am smaller than the small. How does it translate? Yeah. Swamiji says subtler than the subtle. Subtler than the subtle. Because after some point, small should give rise to subtle. Once it is invisible, then you have to talk about subtle. Small, the word small won't apply. And so, small means size. Once you can attribute a size to something, you can say small or big. But beyond size means what? So, okay, subtler than the subtle. Ahameva. And then, tadvat mahan aham. Tadvat mahan aham. Mahan means big. Big. Like that, I am big. That is the literal translation. Like that, I am big. Okay. But like that means what? Just like you are going from small, you want to go to smaller. Like that, from big, you must go to bigger. That is the way to read that. Tadvat. Like that, bigger. Big also I am. Bigger than the big also I am. Okay. Now, this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle. This puzzle, how can you solve this puzzle? I am smaller than the small, bigger than the big means what? Those days when as kids, they used to do all these things. And in the village, we learnt all these things. They'll say, எங்க வீட்டுல பச்சை பாம்பு இருக்கு பின்னாடி பச்சை பாம்பு கொல்லையில பச்சை பாம்பு they will say. Means in our backyard there is a green snake. Then you have to answer the question. You should not say, oh really, you had a green snake in the back. No, this is a puzzle. You have to answer this question. Green snake in the backyard. What is a green snake in my backyard? Then scratch your head. Then you have to say it's a snake god. I think it's called a snake god, podalanga. So that green vegetable that is hanging. These days people won't understand all that. Boys and girls, I don't know if they've seen this green god growing and all. The creeper it grows, and so like that puzzles they used to gada gada gudu gudu nedule pallam and all they used to say. Which means there is something that makes gada gada gudu gudu, and then nedule pallam. In the middle there is a big hole. You are supposed to answer this question without blinking your eyelid. You should answer. Those days they used to do this.
Hello.
All the nice idli and dosa we used to take. It used to come from this machine. No grinder and all. But electricity itself was not there those days. My
Article.
aunt used to do this, and it's called, I don't know what you call in English. Kalloral. It's called
Article.
kalloral.
Alloral article.
Grinding stone.
Manual
okay,
grinding stone.
Manual grinding stone. Okay, let's stick with that. So it used to be a big thing with a hole in the middle. And it did gada gada gudu keeps on making this sound. And then they used to put all this urad dal and all the soaked rice and everything would go inside. They would keep doing it. And then they'll switch the hand like this. Because one hand, how long can you keep doing like this? Then she'll just throw it like that and then hold it like this and do it like that. Then I used to jump in and say, no, I want to do it. And then of course they will allow you to do it. Sure, keep doing it. And smart people will just leave, just get up from there and go because they have so much job in the kitchen. Simply sitting with him and having fun. This is not the time to play games and all. And then I'll go inside and ask, is this over? Is this done? Then say, no, just a few more minutes you have to do. And then few more minutes I'll do. Then again go run inside. Few more minutes over. No, just few more minutes. So then only we realize how much work is involved in all this. So like this puzzle here, Anoraniyan, Mahato, Mahiyan, you can't solve the puzzle at all. Because the mind is thinking smaller than the small, means something minute, bigger than the big. There's no connection between big and small. They're opposites. How can two opposites be equal? Not possible. It's not possible at all. Two opposites cannot. That's why it's called an opposite. Can't be equal. White and black. How can white and black be equal? Not possible. Sorrow and joy. How can they be equal? That's why Krishna says they are not equal. Sukha dukhe same kritva. Hey, act as though, act as though. Take them, act. They're not equal. You know they are not equal. But act as though this is how life is. And so things will be up and down. And your response to them, may they be more or less equal. Response should be equal. Sukham is not equal to dukkham. But what is my response to dukkham? Okay, all right. I can gain some essay over these things. Come back to reality. I can do that. That human mind is capable of doing that. And so here, if something is smaller than the small and something is bigger than the big, there is only one possibility. What is that possibility? That big must be a superimposition. That small must be a superimposition on something. Correct? It must be an adhyasa on something that is not qualifiable at all. On something that is nirgunam, I am projecting a gunam. Projection, it's only a projection. When I project now, I can project anything I want. I can project big, I can project small, I can project red, blue, green, yellow. I can project anything, any quality I can project. Therefore, it must be a superimposition. That is the only possibility left. That is what he's saying here. Without saying, using the word superimposition, Shankara's commentary, if Shankara were to write, he will talk about adhyasa. Adhyasa he will talk about. And we'll see what is Maniprabha say. Anoho aniyan. Okay. Anoho anuparimanat atishayena anuhu. Anuparimanat means parimana. Parimana means of the size of an atom. Of the size of an anu. Anuparimanat atishayena anuhu. Even more comparably smaller. Incomparably smaller, not comparably, incomparably smaller than the small. Anuparimanat atishayena anuhu. Jagat Karana Bhutaha suddenly adds. He says, don't get carried away. It is not some electron or proton. It is of the nature of, it has the capacity to create the universe. That kind of small it is. That kind of subtle it is. Now you have to go from small to subtle. Okay, small to subtle. That which is all pervasive but yet not visible to the naked eye, not perceptible at all, because it is nirgunam. Like that, he's indicating right there. Okay, anoho aniyan ahameva. Ahameva. He's explaining now what aham is. Aham pratyaya vyavaharya yogyaha. That I, which is now capable of engaging in empirical transactions. That I, because first of all, I must appreciate the I. That I did this, I did that. I keep saying I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm doing this, I'm planning that. Okay, there is an I. That I is vyavahara yogyaha, capable of engaging throughout the day we are engaging in something or the other. So that I only natu anyaha, because aham eva, eva natu, not anything else, because everything else is anatma. This ahankara is the critical thing. Body also you let go. Body is anatma, we have figured it out. So but this ahankara is there. Ahankara is just, it won't allow me. Ahankara is one thing. It will not allow me to study this shastram. Do you know why? Because ahankara knows, if I study the shastram, I will get decimated. These fellows are after me. Their guns are all pointing at me like this. Ahankara only. And so I will find a way to distract this guy. Ahankara. Like that, we say like that. So here he is saying that ahankara is that Atma, natu anyaha, anoraniyan, tadvat mahan aham, tadvat yatha gunaha tatha. Just as it was said earlier, tatha mahan. Mahan means he is saying sarvasmat adhikaha. Adhikaha, greater than everything. Sarvasmat. Sarvasmat. In Sanskrit, in Vedanta, when the word sarvam is used, automatically it is referring to the world. It is referring to anatma. It doesn't refer sarvam, all. Okay, sarvasmat adhikaha, greater than everything. Greater than everything is what? Everything is affected, everything is mithya, everything is anatma, everything is changing. Vikaraha, savikaraha. It is greater than that. It has to be everything, it has to be all pervasive, yet it is greater than the all pervasive universe. How can that be? That is possible only if the world is savikaraha, this greater than that should be nirvikaraha. If the world is sagunam, the essence Brahman should be nirgunam. If the world is mithya, the Brahman should be satyam. Okay, that is what he's saying. So much sarvasmat adhikaha aham. Aham. Aham, he says vyakhyatam. I've already told you what aham is. This word aham is coming again and again in this mantra. I'm not going to explain this to you aham again and again. That is same aham only it is. And so, therefore, I have not become an atom, neither I have become the whole. This becoming and all, you let go of these ideas of becoming. I already am. This is Atma. This is Brahman. There is no becoming big. There is no I have become small. I have to work hard to become big. It's not like that. How can you become everything by working hard? Finite effort will only lead finite result. How can one become infinite? Not possible. Neither does the Shastram say you are going to become infinite. You are infinite. You are that. Tattvameva tvameva. Tat, we saw that earlier. So, therefore, this is possible only when all these ideas are superimpositions. Superimpositions on what? On Brahma. All my ideas about myself. I am great, I am not great, I am highly accomplished, I could have done more, I am sad, I am happy, I am, and all the attributes about myself. I am sick, I am ill, I am very healthy, all these things. Let it be. They all apply to the body and the mind. That is fine, nothing wrong with it. But it is not applying to the Atma. If I apply it to Atma, what I am doing? I am superimposing the attributes of the body on the Atma. If I'm saying I am sad and I take it literally, then what I'm doing? I am superimposing the attributes of the mind on Atma. Because the Atma does not have attributes of this dukkha, etc. That is why I can go to sleep and still be happy in sleep. Otherwise, that dukkha will stick to me. There is no hope of ever sleeping and say I had a good sleep. There is no hope at all possible. Why? Because Atma is stuck. Atma is stuck with all the problems I have during the day. Now, Atma is free. That is why one can go to sleep. One can always hope that next day will be better. Hope that I can sleep well. That is why if I can't sleep well, then we have a problem. We go to the doctor. I am unable to sleep. So that's the idea here. And then Vishwam, Vishwamaham Vichitram. There is another Patabheda, different reading is also there. Vishwam Idam Vichitram, like that it is there. We can explain both. Vishwamaham Vichitram. Aham, This aham, this is all pervasive, which doesn't get touched by anything. And aham vichitram vishwam. I am this universe. I am this universe. Okay, I am this universe. This vishwam is universe. Vivida pratyaya gamyam vishwam. Vichitram. Vichitram means what? Variegated. This so colorful. A, a world which is filled with variety. Variety. The variegated and all, I don't know. It's not a common usage. So, filled with variety. Sounds, so many sounds. Sounds variety. Sights variety. Tastes variety. Smells variety. Touches variety. Variety means combinations are infinite. Infinite. And yet to discover so many things. Infinite things. So many things are there. Combination is just infinite. So Vichitram, he says, he uses the word Vichitram for that. And but what about this Vichitram? This whole Vichitram is me, really speaking. Is me. The pot can say that. The pot can easily say that. That that my essence is clay. I have come to know that I am clay. Pot can say that. Because there is nothing. It is not an imagination. I am not imagining that I am clay. I know that I am clay. Imagination is different. Imagination could be of something that is unreal also. A non-existent thing I can imagine. I can imagine that a rabbit has two long horns like that of a deer. Come on, imagine. Deer's horns, you imagine. Then place it on top of the rabbit. Rabbit. I can imagine. I can imagine that rabbit running like this. Okay, I can imagine. That I can imagine. But here, no, the pot is not imagining. I know I am clay, pot says. The wave says, I know I am water, 100% water. Wave says it. And the wave can also say, the ocean also is 100% water. God, the ocean, who created me, God created me, okay. Who is a God? This ocean is the God. There is no chance. The wave and the ocean are just no comparison at all. There is no comparison. Wave can only know other waves. All other waves, it is friends, relatives, enemies, all these things are there. Ocean, there is no chance for the wave to appreciate ocean. But there is a chance. When the wave comes to the Shastram, the Shastram says you are nothing but water. All attributes, everything that you've been thinking about yourself, you have projected on yourself. You are pure water. After death also you will be water only. Before death also before birth also you were water. During this time also you are water. And so there is a question of you dying away. The wave will die away, but now you have to decide whether you are the wave or the water. If the wave is taught like that, the wave has to spend some time thinking about it. And so then the wave can say, Aham vichitram vishwam aham. This vichitram, this whole world, this entire beach and beyond the beach into the waters where the ships are all going, everything is me. Everything is me means what? The wave is not everything. Water is everything. I am the water, all pervasive. I identify with the water. I am that imperishable water, like that the wave can say. Water cannot say. Only you need a wave to say this. Water cannot say because water is nirgunam. Water is quality less. It is just unaffected by anything. What you say and don't say, it is unaffected. Your sorrow or your joy, it is unaffected. Water is unaffected. But you need to, that upadhi has to be there. That wave upadhi. Look at that. Wave is called the upadhi. That upadhi has to have a mind, a human mind. That human mind has to go through ups and downs. Then come to Shastram and then says, yeah, I am all there is here. There's nothing other than me. Nothing other than me. It is not an imagination, it is an appreciation of the reality. Reality. The wave should not sit and meditate that I have to think that I am water. I have to think that I am water. I have to think that I am water. No, no. You meditate, all right. But first understand that you are what. This is a lot of understandings involved in this. After that, you can do nididhyasanam. I am water. I am water. I am water. I am water. That is fine. Now you are only reinforcing what you already know. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be another type of superimposition. You are finished. You are going to die. No, I am not going to die. I am not going to die. I am not subject to death. I am not subject to that. Avinashi tu tad vidhi. Avinashi. I am Avinashi. Hey, that sloka is supposed to be understood first. Then you can meditate on it. Without understanding, if you keep on chanting, nothing will happen to you. Anyway, this is Vishwamaham Vichitram. Like the rope appears as the snake. It is an appearance. It's a projection. I have projected a snake on the rope. Like that, I have projected the world. Snake projection is, of course, imaginary. It is my creation. Just because I projected snow doesn't mean everybody is projecting a snake on that rope. This is my personal projection. But like that, here the world is not my projection. It is Ishvara Shrishti. It is a creation that everybody watches it. For everybody, the tree exists. And so it is not a projection, that kind of a projection. It is not pratibhasikam. It is not a mistaken projection, but it is perceptible to everybody. Everybody sees the tree. But now everybody has to study and understand that the tree is Brahman, really speaking. That tree is not the absolute reality. Science has already figured it out that nothing you see, there is always something inside what you see. Thanks to science. Thanks to science, they are only digging more and more. And they are telling us that this is just an appearance. Green also is appearance. They say light is striking that leaf, and the leaf absorbs every spectrum, every light color in the spectrum, and only reflects this light. When you think about all this, it's just mind boggling. It is better for us to ignore it. I think that's why we ignore all these things. Oh, it's not for me. I will just do my cooking and eat my spinach, green spinach, and then lead a simple life. That is enough. Don't tell me all this light reflection and all. It's mind boggling. We take everything for granted. We don't think about these things. And but if you start thinking, we'll end up with Brahman. I think that's how it is. So therefore, Swami Paramarthanandaji says, moksha is not simply trying to get a good life. That is what he's saying. Good life everybody wants. You don't need the shastram to get a good life. Okay, everybody wants to get a good life. But moksha is, despite this vichitram vishwam that is there, that seems to be opposed to me. I have to defend myself against all these things, against all even small bacteria. I have to defend myself against. But do that. But while doing that, appreciate that I am the one. It is easy for people to say this sarvam khalu idam brahma. Everything is Brahma. That is easy to say. But you have to go to the next step. What is the next step? Everything is Brahman, all right. But I am that Brahman. And therefore, I am everything. That requires more. That requires something to confidently come out and say, I am everything. Brahman is everything is easy to say because Brahman is a thing, something. But Brahman is not something. Can I say Aham Brahmasmi? Aham Brahmasmi. Brahman is everything. And if you compare these two, you connect this Brahman to that Brahman, then you drop the Brahman and say, Aham, I am everything. Vichitram Vishwam Aham. That is Shastram. Otherwise, it becomes science. The world is Brahman. Even if a scientist figures it out, that is science. Paroksha Jnanam it is. It is Jnanam about the world. You are saying that the essence of the world. Earlier you said it is molecule, then you said it is atom, then you said it is electron and proton and neutron, then you said it is something else, positron and this and that, then you said it is quark. And now I think it must be Brahman. It must be Brahman. See that? I think it must be Brahman. Hey, you have to move. You have to just, it and I are not different. That is this Advaita. This is Advaita. Nobody can refute it. Nobody means no scientist can refute it. No thinker can refute it. There can't be two parallel realities. A scientist will agree. Scientists will say, yeah, you are correct. Your approach is correct at least. He may not understand Brahma, but he says that is correct. We are also after that one truth only. They will say, they have to agree with that. So, and here Maniprabha says, अनीय अनीयसां महतां कारणानां च यथा भेदः तथा वा अपि स्यात् इत्यतः आह इत्यतः आह saying, hey, this small and big creates all these ideas of, because small means size, big means size. There's a tendency to attribute a size to all these things, and so he's saying, he's saying, point blank, he's saying, Vishwamidam Savidyam Bhuta Bhautika Prapancha Jatam. Vishwam, technical language is using now, Vedanta language. Vishwam means what? Hey, it's a product of all the Panchabhutas. Everything we studied in Tattva Bodha is packing it here. And this Sukshma Panchabhutas are there. That is the Pancha, that is the Akasha, Vayu, Adi, which have come from Atma. Yatova imani jatani or tasmadva etasmad atmanah akasha sambhutaha. We know that from Taittiriya. So that from Atma came Akasha Vayu, etc. From this Akasha Vayu, which is subtle, came the gross. That is the Bhautikam. Bhuta Bhautika Prapancham, he says. Bhuta is the initial Sukshma, then Bhautika is grossified. That Prapancham, Prakarshena, Panchate, iti Prapancham. That is why the world is called Prapancha. Look at that. Look at the Vedanta that is there, loaded in that word Prapancha. We will say, yeah, Prapancham na solluva. That is, we don't use the word. The youngsters don't use that word that much. But the older generation, they say Prapancham. They use the word Prapancham for the world. Okay. Hindi mein Prapanch bolte hai na. So it is there. That is there very much in our language. Prapanch. That is mean that Panchabhuta model is very much there. Our Siddhanta is very much encoded in these words. Just like Jagat, the word Jagat also encodes the Siddhanta, correct? Jayati Gachati iti Jagat. That which is born and changes, that is the world for you. I have defined the world for you. You can peer into the universe, you can peer into this and track down all these stars and galaxies. That's your choice. Go ahead and do it. But I'll tell you the common characteristics of everything you're going to discover and invent. What is the common characteristic? It is born, jayati, jayate, gachati. Gachati means changes. That which is born and changes is the world. So, therefore, here he says, aham yakyatam, then vichitram vividam swayam ananta bhedavat ityarthaha. Vividam. Vividam is variety, Vividam swayam ananta bhedavat ityarthaha. Hey, the guy aham is really ananta. Ananta and nirvikaraha, unchanging ananta, but bhedavat. As though That Ananta is divided, fragmented into so many different things because everything is different. Objects are all different. People are different. Things are different. Everything is different. Planets are different. You give names to planet, different names. Why? Because they are different. Otherwise, one name would suffice for all the 9 planets. That one appearing as many. When I recognize that, then I'm really accomplishing the goal that I am supposed to accomplish. Moksha Purushartha. Artha, Kama, Dharma is there. Then this is what is needed for moksha. Moksha Purushartha. So, Vichitram Vishwam Aham Asmi. That's what he says here. Then Aham Puratanaha. Puratanoham. Now our mind goes to Bhagavad Gita again. Okay. What shloka it goes to? Sundariji.
Shashvatoyam Puranam.
Shashvatoyam Purana. Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Purana. Puratana and Purana means the same thing. Similar at least.
Jayate mriyate.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् न जायते म्रियते वा neither it is born nor it is subject to death न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः and neither does it having become bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah then again it says goodbye, I'm tired of this life, and then goes away. Such a thing doesn't happen. There's no such thing for Atma. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha. Ajaha. No, it is ajaha. Unborn. Unborn. Now, the non existent also is unborn. That which doesn't exist also is unborn only. Rabbit's horns doesn't exist. That also is ajaha only. But really, there is nothing called rabbit's horns. But here, existing, the cell ajo nityaha. Nityaha. Look at that. That which is unborn but eternally present. Always present. Shashvataha, always present. Shashvataha. Shashvatoyam Puranaha. 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 Anadihi. Anadihi. Because it was not born. If it is born, then you have to have a date of birth. You have to do Jatakam for that. You have to do Jatakam for this universe. They are doing Jatakam for everybody these days. You go to the YouTube, everybody Jatakam they are analyzing. Narendra Modi Jatakam, Amit Shah Jatakam, Yogi Adityanath Jatakam. Because they are using that to figure out who is the next prime minister. Because things are changing and now things are more easily predictable to some extent. They could not have predicted America's future like this, the way things are going. I don't know if anybody predicted or not. But they are predicting countries, how it's going to be. They are predicting World War III, when it will happen, who, what, when, what will happen to America, what will happen to India. All this they are predicting. But Puranaha, no Jatakam, you can't write a Jatakam because Anadihi, and it can't be created, it always is. And so that Ajo Nityam is 220, I think. And then Yoma Majamana Dimcha Vetti Lokamaheshwaram Asammudasamartyeshu Asammudasamartyeshu Sarva Papaif Pramuchyate. I think that's what it is. Yo Mam Ajamanadim there. Anadi. Yo Mam Ajam. Hey, Yo Yaha, the one who understands me, Mam. Krishna is saying me, Mam, Ajam, the birthless. The me who is birthless, not the Krishna who was born to Vasudeva and Devaki in that jail when it was raining. Not like that. Not that me. Mam Ajam, the one who is unborn, the essence of me. And then Kshetrajnaha. Okay. Ajam Anadim Cha. Yo Mam Ajam Anadim Cha. Vetti Loka Maheshwaram. Vetti, one who knows that. That me. And that me is Loka Maheshwaram, one who is the ruler of the entire universe. Vetti Loka Maheshwaram. Asammudassa Martyeshu. Then among people, that person is an Asammudaha. Sammudaha means confused. Asammudaha, no longer confused. Knows the reality. Knowing what's what is the greatest, is really empowering. Even in our daily life. If you know things better, more object, then you are more objective. And you can handle things better also. Here also it's the same thing. Asammudassa Martyeshu. Sarva papai pramuchyate. That person is free from all papa. Why? Because Atma, papa cannot touch Atma. Like that Surya light, nothing can touch the Surya. Like that. Sarva papai pramuchyate. So, Nyeyam yat. So that is 10.3. This sloka is 10.3. Yomam ajam anadim cha is 10.3. 10th chapter. This this one.
Vibhuti.
Vibhuti yoga. Vibhuti yoga. Then there is another shloka in 13th chapter. Kshetrajna yoga. And there the shloka is Nyeyam yattat pravakshyami yat jnatva amritam ashnute anadimat param brahma nasattanna saduchyate. It's a tongue twister there. So there, Nyeyam yattat pravakshyami. Okay, I'm going to teach you. Because that is sloka number 13, I think. 13.13. Nyeyam yattat pravakshyami. Yajñatva amritam ashnute. I'm going to teach you that which will free you. Okay, which will make you immortal. Mortal cannot become immortal. Please understand. Every religion says the mortal is going to become immortal. We say mortal cannot be immortal. How can mortal be immortal? Not possible. All these heaven-bound religions say mortal, you are mortal now, but you will become immortal after death by going to heaven, my heaven. This is what they say. Hey, we are saying it's not possible. Things that change will continue changing. Body will continue to change. It will perish, it may be born again also. And the essence you are talking, you have to talk about the essence. Come down to the essence of who I am. Okay. And Anadimat Param Brahma Nasat Annasad Uchyate. Anadimat. That essence is Anadi. Puratanoham. It is unborn. Acho Nityaha it is. That you are the unborn I. And how long can I keep on saying my date of birth is this, my date of birth is this? Let it be. Let the date of birth be. Enjoy your 50th anniversary, 60th anniversary, 70th, 80th. Enjoy it. But when you enjoy the 60th, you have to tell everybody. Really speaking, the self is not subject to 60th and 70th. That message you should give on that day. And not get carried away by all these wishes. Make everybody sit down, make all the children sit down and say, guess what? This body, yes, we are celebrating this body. Thanks to Bhagavan for giving me this body to live 80 years. And what is the purpose of living for 80 years? To understand that the self is not really subject to aging at all. Do we ever think about this? Like that message I want to give on my 80th birthday. Like that we can make a difference in some people's life. So puratanoham. That mantra says nasatanna saduchyate, like that he says. Our shastram, if you look at these words, you can get lost. You can just spend a whole lifetime and more on that. Anyway, I don't want to go there. There also he says anadimat puratanaha means anadihi purushaha. He uses the word Purushaha, Ishaha, Hiranmayaha, Shivarupam Asmi. There's many more words are there. And so we will dwell on those words in the next class. You thought I'll finish this mantra today, didn't you? Somehow I couldn't finish. It's okay. We'll do it. All right. So we'll continue this in the next class. Oh. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।